Hi, I'm John from Origin Effects. I'm here with Alessandro, the bass player from Slipknot.
Hello.
He's been using Origin Effects pedals since way back in the days of the big box stuff. And we're backstage at the O2 in London, and he's going to talk us through his rig. So, thanks for having us.
Thank you for
I
making
guess-
great pedals.
Well, I guess we'll start with the basses, shall we?
Okay, so there's a bit of a big mix of stuff in here. We're doing mainly statuses at the moment. I've been playing status now for about 8 years. The main guy that we start the whole set off with is this one. It's the S2. All of the statuses that I use live, we've moved the controls. So there was a treble, middle, and a bass. They've now been moved around the back when we have trim pots, just so set and forget. And you just have a volume and a blend. I always keep the neck pickup only. I just feel like it's got more of that P-bass punch to it. I think when I have the blend on and stuff like that with the both going, you lose a little bit of attack. So all the way up. There's a mid contour switch on all the basses. I have it all the way down, and it gives a really hefty kick of mids. And that really helps with us tuning down to drop B. So it just nice and punchy. And with the statuses already, they've got such a piano-like tone to them with the preamps. So having that extra mid as well, it's just extra punch. So yeah, this is the main one we start the set off with. Then I go to this guy. I'd point out all these tops are done by my friend Tobias Casper. They're all like resin impregnated burls that he chops down from trees that need to be felled and stuff, and then he goes and puts some resin in them. Same again, it's the same base. Oh yeah, LEDs as well, because you can't see in with my stupid mask. Here's another S2, same again, another top. Oh yeah, all carbon fiber necked.
I like how you can see the carbon through the top on that.
Yeah, this one's got the, I don't know how he does it, because you never ever see the seam. It just looks like it's part of it, but that's one of Rob from Status's many secrets. This is probably one of the first headlesses I got. So obviously I didn't want to mess around with it. We've got the treble, middle, and control, like I said before, but everything's still on the front. So this is, if you bought an S2 back in the day, that's how you'd get it.
I was going to say, that looks like an original top, not one of Tobias'.
Right, this is one of Rob's many old pieces of, I believe this is a walnut top. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's
It
walnut.
looks like it, yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, I got carried away with hitting a few things, and so that one's a bit battle scarred.
Oh, yeah.
It's an 18 volt preamp system, so that's why it looks like tons of batteries back here, and then 2 for the LEDs. So this one's got front, and then you can turn them on to the sides if you don't want to be too obnoxious. So, and then the newest thing to the rack, for the song Scissors, it's tuned down to F sharp on the bottom string. So the B drops all the way down to the F sharp, and I just found that having a big giant string on those statuses, it was just couldn't hold the tension. And so we've gone with the Aristides, and it's got like a, it's the same kind of world of a composite body, with their way of doing it. It's a big giant molded slab of composite stuff. I put the Status preamp in it, so we're in the same wheelhouse tonality wise. Yeah, and this big F sharp on that, and I believe the scale length, it goes up, I think it's about 1 inch extra, so it just adds a bit more.
I was about to ask about that, because the Status would just be like a standard 34
Standard 34, yeah. Yeah, everything on the Status is a 34. He did at one point do a 35, but once again, he doesn't make them anymore, so trying to find someone that wants to give me one is not going to happen. So
it's just the low string that's extra low. The rest is,
yes, the rest is still in drop B. So yeah. And back in the day when I was in my teching realm, good friend of mine, Chris McIntyre, he used to work at Saybase, and now he's his own company, McIntyre Guitars, up from Scotland.
Okay, so that's cool.
And yeah, he built me, well, I sent him this top which is another Tobias top. And he sat on it for about 3 years, and then he turned up to the Glasgow show. He's like, "Oh, I built this. It's very beautiful."
Oh, just now on this tour?
Yeah, just on this tour. So I played that the other night on a few songs. Luckily, the preamp that he put in it, I think it's a East preamp, and there's a DB bump trim pots in there, so I actually could match the level of the statuses. Tonality-wise, very different, but with a bit of EQing on here with the mids and stuff, we kind of got it pretty close. So I was kind of happy with that.
Oh, that's cool that you've actually managed to use it.
Yeah, no,
on tour.
He's such a great guy, and he taught me like fretting, guitar repair, and stuff like that. Like, I mean, we're talking 15 years ago, and it's nice to see him come down, and he actually made me an instrument, which is brilliant. This one is not being used at the moment, but this is based on the Entwistle B2s. Big.
Oh yeah, it's got the vulture headstock.
It's got the big headstock. I've been after the original Entwistle one with the big silly, looks like the Batmobile.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to sell me one of them, please hit me up.
Yeah, there you go. We're looking for one vulture bass.
Yeah. I'll let me buy that. That's another top, and then this one's got some blue LEDs, but the same again, all the trim pots in the back. But I'm not using this one at the moment, no.
So you're an Entwistle fan then, with the status basses and the biamp rig that we'll get to in a minute?
Yeah, I mean, I've always found his. He used to have a Digitech 22, the Artist, the 2210 or 2220. I can't remember the name of it, but. And he had the biamp rig was one on a high, one on a low, combining the two sounds together. I mean, Billy Sheehan does the same thing as well, and it's just, certain frequencies can work somewhere else, instead of mashing it all together. I mean, it works for a lot of other people, but I found that quite interesting earlier on. There's a couple of awesome videos of Entwistle playing, and his tone is just so punchy and clacky, which is very how I like my sound as well. So I think that's probably why there's some sort of...
There's that one famous live film, isn't there? And you can get the isolated tracks for it. And stuff.
And he's just... And it's all about mids and punch, and that's where I'm at. I'm a big ESP fan. So I've been collecting up a lot of ESPs. This one's a very old vintage, I would say Lawsuit era. So looks like someone else's... brand.
Like early 80s then, I guess.
I'd say late 80s, this one. Maybe, I'd say late 80s. It's got the old banana headstock. I just thought it was incredible.
Yeah, that's sick.
We put some Bartolini's in it, 18 volt preamp. Same thing again. I found the frequency range of where we're at with the statuses. So same thing again. It's got that mid. I tried to retrofit it as much as possible without putting status in it.
So that's a frequency selector then?
Yeah, and I started changing around the capacitors on there so we could get really close to where we were at. I think it's around about I would say 1.2 or something like that. But we got there in the end, and it was just all right, wicked. So this was getting played, but we're not playing those songs at the moment. And then the last one, which is my favourite find of 2024, I got this off eBay for 700 quid.
Oh, nice.
And it's a heavy Les Paul ESP with a Jackson Lawsuit headstock on it.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
How's the neck dive?
This sits great.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. It's a
I'm
really...
surprised.
Yeah, it's not one of them.
It looks like it should be though, right?
No, it's just because the body's so heavy, and this bridge, they've recessed it into the body.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. It's great. I retrofitted some lumen layers and stuff just so I can see. Oh, same thing with that one as well, just so you can actually see what you're playing in the dark. Cause our new set, the lighting is very dark and very back in the day, kind of, if you were, say, with Slipknot, it's got that kind of old...
Yeah.
We haven't got pyro, we haven't got lasers and all that kind of stuff. It's just mainly big lights and stuff.
Yeah, I saw the show earlier in the tour, and it's very kind of eerie.
Yes.
Lots of bits where you can't see what you're playing.
And my new mask is not the greatest of seeing out of, so yeah, any sort of help really is good. The pickups in this is weird because they're EMGs, but inside there's a ESP printed board, but it's got a ton of electronics on it.
Oh, okay.
And this has got a really awesome sound to it. Once again, not on the status realm, but it's on its own. Sounds awesome. Made it. I retrofitted it with the 18 volt, just for a bit more headroom. Added a Bartolini preamp boost,
Okay.
so it's now at the same output levels as the statuses. So punkier songs like Get This in Eeyore, I've been playing this for those, and it's just kind of got like a really dirty little sound to it, but it's punchy as hell. So that's it for the basses. I forgot this one because it was sitting on top of the rig. This is my very old ESP, another lawsuit. I don't know if I should say lawsuit at the time, but whatever. They write it on Reverb if it's a lawsuit. But yeah, it's Flying V Silver Burst. I saw this because when I was Brent for Mastodon's tech, he had this awesome Gibson Silver Burst Flying V. And when I saw a bass, I was like, well, I'm fucking buying that. So this one's got lovely Silver Burst neck on it. Swap the pickups out to status, so it's got a status preamp in it. Same again, volume blend. All the other like mid switch, that doesn't do anything. So it's just volume and blend. The only issue with this bass is it's in 32-inch scale. So I had to put a big set of strings on it. So it does hold up, but there is definitely more of a than a punch to
Doesn't
it.
have quite the clang of
Yeah,
others.
so there's one song that I use this in, Purity, which is actually, it works really, really, really well for that song. It's just not, I'm not doing anything like percussive, I'm more there to fill out some space.
Oh, so it's a welcome change.
So it's actually quite nice, yeah, when you move to it. But yeah, I love this bass. Once again, this is the end of the 25th anniversary tour, so it's our last show today. So this is the last time I'll be playing this on stage. So this is its last gig. Then I'll put it into standard E, and it'll
where it belongs.
stay where it belongs. So yeah, it's got a 135 instead of a 125 on the bottom, just so I can hold up with the things. But yeah,
That's a cool bass.
everything all lives in our nice custom Ultra case. Been using them even back in the teching days. We'd have Ultra cases, so yeah, great company for them. Right,
Right, let's
move on
get
to
onto
the electronics.
the rack.
This is Darren's world, by the way. Here's my tech, my lovely tech of many, many years, and friend of even more. So let's move on to the rack. Everything powered by Furman, always Furman. Robert Furman's always been a great friend of mine, and has hooked us up dearly, and never had an issue with them. They never go down, so we stick with Furman. Peterson Strobo rack. Obviously, I don't use this during a show because this is back here, but for Darren, he can change on the radial. We can flick between different inputs, and then we can see he can do it on there, and he can tune back here or whatever before he hands it off to me. So it's a nice little handy thing to have, instead of being like, oh, I need a tuner. We got one. So that goes to, I think the best way of doing this is from the bass. So from the bass, wireless unit goes into the Shure Axient units. It's the latest units that they do. Once again, never had an issue with Shure Axient, I don't think. We had a problem with Shure Axient?
Sorry?
No. Yeah, Shure Axients, great units. So then that goes into the radial. And I have 4 inputs. So all the basses you've seen there, they've all got separate packs with separate frequencies on.
Oh, and that's just the 4 channels from
And that's the 4 channels of
from the Shure, yeah.
Of the Shure. In the radial, it has its own effects loop. In the effects loop, it's not switched on and off, but on my outputs, so the system runs all in parallel on the outputs. So I have like a DI channel, so the guitar will split, or the bass will split to guitar. It then splits to the Mesa Boogie WD800, which is that one. And then it splits to the 400 plus, which is that one there. And I'll just jump to this point straight away. Both heads, if one goes down, same with the Mesa Boogie, they can all be switched via this N audio unit. So out the back, there's 2 boxes. All the speakers, cables, and everything like that goes to that. And then press the button, flips. So
So that's like the redundancy.
it's a redundancy
system.
thing. I'm not using all those heads, but if something does go right, and especially touring with old 400 pluses, like we had to take 3 in to get repaired recently, and that happens.
Nice to see him still going though.
But yeah, it's still going after 20 odd plus years of amp. So we get to the effects loop. In the effects loop goes to an RJM effects gizmo, and we've got input and output on that, and in between we've got the loops, individual loops. Now, number one is the lovely Cali 76. So on every output, the Cali 76 is always on. So front of house DI gets that, WD800 gets that, 400 plus gets that, and the Axe-Fx gets that as well. I should just say the Axe-Fx has another redundancy system built into it. So if we're ever doing a fly show and I can't bring cabinets or I can't bring the big heavy stuff, the Axe-Fx has a backup system of a digital version of my...
Oh, so like a copy of the
It's a copy of like what these amps are doing. So they've got IRs on them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's in there. But also the Axe-Fx has we have like a little pedal board built into it. So one of the inputs and outputs of the Axe-Fx has like a chorus pedal, a delay pedal and stuff like that. And I can turn them on and off. So that's all included in the RJM.
Oh, so you're switching the Axe-Fx digital pedal board in and out, so you can preserve the analog signal path as well.
Exactly, yeah, and also have a redundant full entire rig redundancy running as well at the same time.
So you've got that digital pedal board that you use with the main rig, and then a backup for the main rig as well within the Axe-Fx system.
Yeah,
and that effects loop is before all of these different outputs, so they're all getting that signal, right?
Yes, yeah. There's no like effects loop for the amp or anything like that. Everything's all in the front end.
Right, because it's the effects loop of the switcher.
It's the effects loop of the switcher. And the reason why I'm doing that is that, say if we have an issue with the RJM or the power supply goes or anything like that, it's a quick little boom, and we can turn off all of those effects loops on everything, and we can be back running again. And we're still passing signal to the cabinets.
Yeah. And you're running real cabinets.
So yeah, we're running real cabinets. So the WD800 goes to a Subway 2x12 bass cab, and the 400 plus goes to a old Powerhouse 8x10, one of the old ones from back in the day.
Those are Mesa Boogie cabs.
Yeah, and they've got the old speakers in it that no one can find anymore, and they have...
Are they the Black Shadows, are they?
No, they were made for... Hey Mike, who made the old 8x10?
Eminence made them, yeah.
So that's Mike, by the way. That's Mixtech. He's the knowledge guru. So so when we were trying in the studio of finding cabs to go with the 400 plus, we did the 8x10, and it was just, I mean, we just shot out everything, and it was those speakers that are in those things are just amazing. So we stuck with that, and that's it. And they all live within the set, and that's facing this way away from on stage, because it gets quite loud back here.
So you've still got some rumble on stage?
There's some rumble on stage, yeah, but doesn't piss off everyone in the band. So just all the techs just have to listen to me.
Yeah.
So that's it.
But before we started filming, you said it's quite useful, the way the monitoring's set up on stage, to have the real cabs and to have all of these different outputs.
Right, yeah. There's a blend, and like, especially if you're standing around this like stage right and not even off the stage, you get to feel a bit more like rhythm section and stuff, and that's kind of handy because Jim's not on in-ears, and you know.
Oh, he's running wedges.
He's on wedges as well, so you get a nice blend of like bass, and then as you go to his wedges, then all of a sudden like it's like pounding. So it's if you wanted to be on stage, and you could enjoy a really nice mix if you stood somewhere, because you get a bit of everything, you know.
Oh, so he's getting his guitar from the wedges, but your bass from under the stage.
Yeah, and you get a bit of the bass from the stage as well, so he doesn't have to like use too much in his wedge for me, you know, so less things for the wedge to be doing. So,
and I think you said these outputs go to different monitors depending on whose monitor mix they're
right, exactly. Yeah, so like Clown's been using the Axe-Fx line for his ears, you know, and like someone might not want the grittier sound, someone might want like the 400 plus sound. So you know, people have a choice.
Yeah. Oh, so they can just kind of get the fundamental without too much of the aggressive stuff
Right, exactly.
that you want to hear.
Right. So like Sid, he has like my whole system running through a wedge as well up there. So he's got a bit of everybody on there. So you know what I mean? Like people can pick and choose what you want really. So, but I kind of send my signal, like my in-ears. I have the DI WD800 400 plus, and I have my own blend of how I want it for my ears. So and my ears, I mainly just run me and Eloy. So it's just rhythm section heavy because I can hear Jim.
Oh, you're getting enough from the.
I get enough
wedges
from a little bit of outside, and you know, if I hear like a bing of a dee 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 or something like that, you know, I can already hear that because I'm not playing at the moment, so
Sure.
I know where I'm at, and then I'm just waiting for the and then off I go, and then it's just me and rhythm section. So
which in-ears are you running? Have you got the?
So I've just
You get some that can like let in some ambient sound and things. I wonder if you're running.
I do, but I hate ambient sound as well. So these are Darren's, but it's the same thing. We're using 64 audio now. We've just changed, and I'm loving them. So these are the 64. They do have that little thing there.
Oh, that's the ambient filter.
Yeah, and you can just pop that out and then lets in. But for me, I love it.
Oh, so you can choose.
You can pick and choose how you want. You can change the filters as well. So shout out to 64 because now I'm sticking with them. So these have been awesome for me.
And strings and picks, I guess.
Strings and picks, yeah. So I think that's it with the rig. Oh, the DI is the JT. It's made by John Tokarski. Used to work at Mesa Boogie. We got this. It was a prototype, and I've still stuck with the prototype. And there's not the ones he actually releases. I still use as well. It's just for some reason I put that one in there, and it stays in there. These were built in cahoots with Joe Barisi, who did our last record. So they just worked together designing this DI. Beautiful sounding DI, super clean, super punchy, and you can like sculpt a little bit on the front end.
Oh, there is some tone
So there's some slight bit of tone shaping and nice. It's just got like a grit, but without grit. You know, like the harmonics are there and stuff, but it's not distorting. You know, clarity. Yeah, exactly.
And the Chocs power supply as well.
Oh yeah, the Chocs power. I can never pronounce.
I think it's Chocs.
I always look for C.
Sorry if I'm wrong.
So using them, I think everyone in the band's using the Seox stuff. Everyone's using pretty much RJM as well, I believe. And then this is KHDK, my signature pedal.
Oh yeah, we can't miss that out. Check it. Let's get a shot.
Yeah, I'm forgetting my own stuff. And this is got a parallel sound to it, so I can let in the original sound and not having it coloring it. So it's kind of like a mix control, but it's better than a mix control. It's literally parallel. It is parallel, so there is no, you're not getting that weird kind of blend.
Oh, so you kind of got the biamp thing with your drive sound,
exactly,
and then you're using the biamp system to get the bass and treble separation.
Yes, yeah, and then that way I can sculpt this a bit better. And when I turn it on, I've still got the original clack of it being off, as opposed to when we were doing prototypes of this. We tried it with a normal mix knob, and it was like I was losing my sound. You know, it was just adding distortion. Whereas this is based on an old what's the Animato. It's a Japanese company, fuzzy-ish, overdrive-ish. Like, I know it's weird pedals. I couldn't really describe it, but we did loads of tweaks to it and moved some stuff around, and we came up with this. I use this a lot on like synths. It works really well because of that parallel clean sound. Cool. So you can still keep the original sound of your keys, but still blend in this grit. You know.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's it. And then the Cali 76 is, like I said, is on everything. This is the newer version. You've got the meter now down here. And I'm using that just to, once again, big stage. Once I start moving away from speakers and stuff like that, you lose that kind of live feel that you would be if you were having wedges and stuff like that.
Like the interaction with the speaker and sustain and that kind of thing, right?
So with this, I just bump a little bit more, get a little bit of gain out of that as well, but without once again, like saturating the sound, and you know, it just lets me hold on to the note a little bit longer when I'm, say, way far from this rig. If I'm on, like, say, mix side or something like that, I can keep it going, and I'm not going to stop playing, because sometimes that can be quite frustrating, especially when my in-ear mix is just drums and bass. When it sounds like I stopped playing, I'm like, oh, shit, did someone turn me off? So yeah, that's what that's there for. And I'm not, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, now I've had it for so long in the rig. When you turn it off, you're just like it's a noticeable thing now, you know. But I'm not really using it too much as a colouring tool, if you know what I mean. It's more there to, you know, it adds, you know, sometimes with compression, you can overly use it and you get that kind of like, you know, I'm not really like sucking the original sound of what the bass is doing. I'm just doing it there just to help me out a little bit with being somewhere else on the other side of the stage.
Oh, well, that's great. I mean, that's that's what we designed it for, really, is to be able to leave it on without it steamrolling things.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's great to see you using it that way.
And that's it. That's the rig. What else we got? Picks. So we're using 1mm Dunlops, the Tortex triangles.
I'm still using the big triangle ones.
Big triangles.
You don't see those so much anymore.
No, they're really great, because if you're running around and you're sweaty, and we're sweaty, these just grip really nicely, and like it stops me from like trying to and the big thick strings in B as well.
Yeah.
Like it's just more purchase really, and it means less strain on trying to hold it down with thumb. Darren will do a score on these, so it adds a little bit extra grip. So
okay.
We'll do like I don't know if you can see into that. We'll do little scores. So he does that every day. So I try not to throw these ones out too much, because
he's worked so hard on them.
It's a time-consuming act. And then what have we got? Strings. We're using Ernie balls. And these are 55 to 125. I've just moved over to the Cobalts. It's got a little bit extra zing to them. We're changing these after every show. So
oh wow.
Yeah. So if I use, say, the blue one next day, new set of strings, and it's not because of the strings, it's because, once again, wet, sweat, set in a rack, go in a truck, go to another venue, you get them out, and they're just
yeah. Well, yeah, on this kind of gig, it's a very different.
It's a different thing, but Ernie balls, they very kindly hook me up, and they give me all the lovely strings. And we tune into B. Only B for this, so no A's anymore. It's a drop B tuning. So yeah, all the rack. I could probably get away with just 2 basses, but whatever.
Where's the fun in that?
So poor Darren has to change the strings every day. That's it. That's the world. But yeah, I share this part of the world with Jim.
Oh, that's him just there. Okay.
And Jim's over there. So this is our little area, and then.
Can we hear some sounds?
Oh yes.
We'll try and find a way to record it.
Yeah. So there, like I said, bridge. Neck only, bridge off. Let's see what you mean with the, just all the way up. You can't mess with that. Switch all the way down. That's got the mid control on it, and then. Just a big thwack. So the
and that's everything on at the moment.
That's everything on at the moment. So the XFX, you won't hear what that sounds like. You won't hear the sound. But the WD800 Subway Mesa Boogie, that's got a lot more gain, distortion to it. And then the 400 plus with the 8x10. So that's clean, super defined, and then together you just get. And then without the compressor. With the compressor. So we're just raising the level up a bit. and then adding a little bit more of the high pass filter, and then that kind of, I can just hold that note and it'll stay on there a little bit longer, and I don't feel like someone's turned my bass off.
I don't know if it will translate that well on the video, but it feels very different in this enormous room when you turn it on and off. Was that with your Totality signature pedal as well?
No, and then with the pedal, I need the foot switch, which is out there.
Ah, okay.
Oh, do you know what? I can do it the old-fashioned way. There's a little switch on the back, isn't there? That's the Totality pedal.
That's gnarly.
Oh, crunchy. The only annoying thing is there's no noise gate up here, so...
That's what the foot switch is for,
That's what
right?
the foot switch is for.
Great.
That's it.
Well, thanks very much.
Yeah, no, thank you for making lovely pedals. Cheers.
Well, thanks for using them, and thanks for inviting us down here.
Yeah, no.
And, have a fantastic show tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, viewers. Enjoy.